Hey, it's Velton Shaw again. Glad you came in, ready to get started, because we have some work to do and we're going to have some fun doing it. And we're going to go through this process step by step. So I'm going to be with you all the way, and we are going to go ahead and make some amazing things happen in your business once we finish this. So, okay, what I want you to do is go over to the first section of the class. It's called Understanding the Why Behind the Decision. And understanding the why behind a decision is the first step in developing a plan of action. Because if you don't know why, nobody else knows why. So we want to make sure that your why is fully understood and the strategies and tactics emanate from the understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. So we want to compose a paragraph that describes the reasons that we're developing this business enterprise, or why we are going down the road with our existing business that we're going down. So the first thing that we want to understand is, what's our strategy? What is the strategy? And the strategy really is, what is the why? What is our reason? Is it that we found something in a market or we're in an industry that is innovative, something that is going to cause a change, something that's going to help do something additional or bring light to something? If it's an existing business, is it a directional change? Is it a market change? What is it that's causing us to do something different this year, the next 6 months, the next quarter, or the next 3 to 5 years, if we want to look at it more on a long range basis? So what is our strategy? Why have we arisen, or why have we arrived at this decision to do what we're going to do? What's driving it? What's our why? The number two thing in understanding our why is, what problem do we solve? So the first thing I want you to do is get out a separate sheet or type into your computer, understand your strategy. What's your strategy? What is it you're trying to accomplish? What is it that you want to do? What is it that's going to make you do something different this time than you did the last time? The second part of that is, what problem does your strategy solve? And I'll tell you what I mean. When I started my company 10 years ago, the strategy was to introduce to the marketplace a company that worked with sales professionals to help them improve their performance, increase their income, and become more of a dominating force in the marketplace. So there were three things in that strategy that I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to improve sales performance. I wanted to work with salespeople to improve their income. Everybody likes to make more money, right? And I wanted them to be more of a dominating force in their marketplace. Now, what I found out after putting that idea together, or that strategy together, there were specific things that I had to do to accomplish that. So those were the things that I built into the strategy. I wrote a book, I developed courses, I spoke at workshops and seminars, I did keynote speeches, all to try to help develop the product and formulate the strategy for success in my business. So it's the same thing with you. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And what are the things that you need to do to solve the problems of the market? What I saw in this particular instance is, there's always a problem in sales with improving performance. There's always a problem in getting more sales, capturing more sales. And if you can improve your performance, if you can increase your income, your domination of the market goes right along with it. You know, back in 1998, we took an office from 24 million to $98 million in less than 5 years. And it wasn't just by happenstance. There were specific strategies and tactics that we utilized in the formulation of a plan to take that office's performance from 24 to $98 million. Now, it didn't happen in 1 year. It was a 4-year process. Yeah, 4 years. 4 years to take an office from 24 to $98 million. So you know there had to be, number one, strategies. There had to be tactics. We had to understand the why. The why was pretty obvious. The why was the more that we can grow the office, the more revenue we grow for the company, the more profitable the company becomes, the more stable our employment was at the time. Now, we've all since moved on to bigger and better and brighter things, but under the circumstances during the time, we were doing some incredible things that nobody else thought we could do. So when you're doing things in your business, you're doing them to make a difference. So what I want you to think about when you think about your strategy is, what can I do that's going to be different? What is different and maybe sometimes cutting edge? There may be some cutting edge things that you're thinking about doing that nobody's ever done before. Not everybody's going to understand what you're doing. Now, what problems do you address or solve? In our instance, the problem was gaining more revenue. In your business, the problem may be solving specific situations. It could be a revenue situation. It could be, as Apple Computers did, they created a community. The problem they solved is you don't no longer have to go to 5 different companies to gain access to products and services to talk to each other. The technology has brought us in a situation now where your watch and your computer and your phone all talk to each other or need to talk to each other. Your alarm system at your house, you've got all these types of gadgets that now intersync, interlock, and talk to each other. Siri helps me every day. But Siri is a function of a product that a company put together as part of their overall strategy to solve a problem that existed. The GPS system in your car solves a problem that exists. So the question that you have to ask yourself as you formulate your business plan is, what problems do I solve? How do I help people? And then here's the real kicker, because there's so much parity in the marketplace. There's so many things that are similar. You've got Apple, you've got Google, you've got all of these other companies that are in the telephone business, the high-tech business. What question that I have to ask each of you, that I would ask each of the CEOs of those companies is, what is your differentiating factor? What makes you different than everybody else who's out here in the marketplace competing for the customer that you're after? What makes you different? Why should I go with you versus going with them? You have to be specific. And it can't be hypothetical. It has to be targeted, tangible things that I can put my finger on, that I can feel, taste, or touch. So what makes you different than the lady down the street, the guy down the street, the opportunity to work with someone else? What makes you different? The next question that you'll see there says, how would you fund your idea, product, until you can bring it to the marketplace and it begins to gain traction? A lot of times things fail because we have these great ideas, but we don't have the ability to finance it. We don't have the ability to bring it to life. I've used myself as a for instance earlier. I'm going to use myself as a for instance again. When I started my business, I wanted to blow up real fast. I wanted to make a lot of money. Obviously, this was all that I was doing. This was the heartthrob of my household and everything that I could imagine. So I wanted to do it quickly and grow fast. But the challenge that I had was financially, I did not have the capital to invest in the big picture. And you heard me in the introduction talk about eating the apple one bite at a time, or biting the elephant and eating the elephant one bite at a time. I had to come to grips with the fact that I had to build in sections. I had to do my live on-site speaking first while I continued to write. And I had to use my books to gain access to speaking opportunities. Why? Because I didn't have the money to fund big, grandiose marketing projects. So when I wrote the book, a lot of authors, and I'm speaking to some of you budding authors out there, probably think I'm going to write this book and I'm going to sell my books and I'm going to make a lot of money. Experience told me, here's what I know. Many times when you write a book, you're going to give away more of them than you're going to sell. What do you mean, Belton? How can you say that? Oh my gosh. The truth is in the pudding. Why? You're not giving away the book. You're using it as a marketing tool to invest in your business. There's a big difference between giving away a book just to give it away or strategically planting a seed. So you're planting a seed by giving the book strategically to the right people. I sent books to human resources directors. I sent books to directors of training. I sent books to CEOs of corporations. When I was speaking on stage, I would hold up my book and I would use little phrases like, the universe takes action or rewards those who take action. And I'd wave the book and I'd say it again, the universe rewards those who take action. And I would hold the book there until it clicked with someone in the audience. And someone in the audience would come running from the back of the room and snatch the book out of my hand. The marketing ploy with that was, now, what just happened? The universe rewarded someone who took action. Many of you were probably thinking about taking action and didn't really click with you right away. Well, you're going to get a second chance today. And here's your second chance. Watch this. My book normally sells for $16.95, but just today, as your reward, I'm offering the book for $12 for anybody who meets me at the back of the room. Not only will I give you the book for $12, but I will sign it and personalize it just for you. What did I just do? I created an opportunity for my marketing prowess to help me elevate my business to another level. Because when someone came to the back of the room to purchase the book, especially if I was talking to the Association of Human Resources Directors, I took the opportunity to get their business card and to tell them that I'd love to have a conversation with them about doing a workshop, a segment, or a speech for their personal or individual company. If it was CEOs, same thing. If it was just a manager or a division head, love to go in and do some work with your division. So again, when you're putting together your strategic plan and understanding why, your strategies of those types of things will all come full circle. But the issue was I was able to fund other areas of my business because I took a small portion and worked that to fund other areas. It cost me $4.25 per book. At $12, I still made almost $8 a book. So basically, I'm not only able to buy more books, but I'm also in the money able to do other things in the business. That was just one of the things that we utilized to help fund an area of the business until other areas took shape or took effect. We produced CDs. We did the same type of things with CDs. Our CDs were a little bit more expensive than the book, but again, it was an additional revenue stream that we created that allowed us to shore up our finances a little bit more until we were able to grow into a full-fledged operation. If you are in business and you are doing well or you're not doing well. Sometimes when you're writing this plan, the purpose is a little different. If you're doing well, you want to figure out ways to increase your productivity, to increase your revenue flow, your revenue stream. If you're not doing well, sometimes you need a turnaround strategy. What am I going to do differently to turn around what's going on? As you formulate and understand your why, you have to understand your circumstances. Where are you? Where are you in this situation? Because you have to understand the foundation before you can venture or fix an issue. So where are you? Where are you in the process? Where do you currently sit in the marketplace? Are you entering the marketplace? Are you involved in the marketplace? Are you at the top of the heap? Are you in the middle? Or are you trying to catch up? Where are you? Because your strategies will be different. Your mission statement will be different based on your position. We'll talk about mission statement in a minute. And if you're entering the market, another question to ask yourself, and these are all questions that are right in front of you, and I want you to answer each of these questions because each of these questions are critical to developing our success as we write this plan. So the next question is, after you understand where you fit into the marketplace, what resources are available to you? What resources can you use or gain access to that either don't cost you a lot, because a lot of times there are resources out there that don't cost you. Don't cost you a penny. But you gotta know what they are. You gotta know where they are. You gotta know where to go to get it. There are other resources that are less expensive than others, but you have to know what they are. So what resources are available to you in your current situation, depending on your industry, depending on your area of expertise, depending on your part of the country geographically or part of the world. There are different resources that are available at different prices depending on where you are. You need to understand how to access them and where to access them. If you're entering a market or if you're in an existing market, what's the condition of the market? How's the market doing right now? Is the market on an upswing? Is the market on a downswing? Is the market leveled off? Are you in a bull market? Are you in a bear market? Where are you? What are the conditions? You know, I was talking to someone earlier and I referenced 2007, 2008 in my question. And the question was that basically 2007 and 2008 totally changed the way we do business. Because prior to 2007 and 2008, things were on a tremendous upswing, kind of like they are today. And we changed our operating philosophies based on market conditions. It happened in 2007, 2008. And for those of you who were around, it happened back in the 80s too. Market was flourishing, the market was doing well, money wasn't as much of an issue, everybody was happy. And then all of a sudden, the market dipped. Markets are cyclical, we all know that. So the question as the business owner, the question as the person developing this plan is, what is the current market condition? How's that condition impacting or affecting your business? And how, depending on how it's impacting and affecting your business, as you move forward in developing your mission statement, developing this plan, what are the things that you need to do to take advantage of the upswing or the positive things in the market and minimize the negativity that's potentially out there in the market that could absorb you, impact you negatively, or affect you? You have to understand that as you're moving forward. So that question, please don't move forward until you really think about that question and answer it. What are the corporate or organizational issues or agendas at work? Now, this is for more of the larger companies. If you're in a corporation and you're writing the strategic plan, what the question is, what's going on internally that may have an impact on your ability to perform at a high level? Is the company up for sale? Is there a merger on the horizon? Is the company doing well in the market? Is the company eliminating products because they're no longer viable entities? Are you going to have to make some adjustments or changes, or divisions, new divisions being developed, or existing divisions closing? What's the internal influence or condition in the company as it relates to your movement forward? You don't have to get too detailed on it, but you at least have to identify it and know it at this point, because we're developing a strategic plan. We're developing a mission statement for the company. What is, we talked about this a minute ago. What are some of the significant events that have occurred to cause you to be where you are? I talked about 2007, 2008. We're now into, as I'm doing this, we're in 2019 going into 2020. The market is on an uptick. We have some other things that are at play. There are different things that are surrounding us that need to be looked at, need to be understood, need to be addressed in our plan moving forward, so that we don't get caught in lack of knowledge in those areas. Okay? So all of this allows us to look at our mission. What is our mission? What is our objective? Your mission is really, what is your overall objective? And there's companies and organizations out there that have mission statements. Most of your successful organizations have mission statements. Okay? I spoke at a conference a couple years ago for Religious Conference Managers Association. It's a professional nonprofit organization. Here's their mission statement. I don't read to the adults. I'm going to read you their mission statement. It says, the Religious Conference Management Association is a professional, nonprofit, multi-faith organization consisting of individuals who are responsible for planning and or managing meetings, tutorials, conferences, conventions, and assemblies for their religious organization. That tells you in one brief synopsis who they are, what they do, and why it's important to you if you are looking to interact with Religious Conference Management Association, better known as RCMA. Very succinct, but very targeted and very absolute. Okay? Here's another one, CARE. To serve individuals and families in the poorest communities in the world. One sentence, but it tells you exactly what CARE does. They serve individuals and families in the poorest communities in the world. One more, I'll do two more. The American Heart Association. You have these in front of you, and I put them there purposely so that you could see them and you could see why they are successful, because these are some very, very successful organizations. The American Heart Association, to build healthier lives free of cardiovascular diseases and stroke. Very short, very succinct. Last but not least, the Susan G. Komen for the Cure is fighting every minute of every day to finish what we started and achieve our vision of a world without breast cancer. So I want you to sit back for a minute. I want you to visualize your company. I want you to think about your company. If you're the CEO, when you started, or the founder, when you started this company, what was your intention? What was the ideology? What was your thought process that went into developing or starting this company? Why? What was your why? Maybe it's bullet points that you need to start with. Take 5, 6, 10 bullet points of this. I did it for this. This is what I wanted to do. This is how I wanted to do it. But you really want to talk about not how so much, but why. This is what is driving. This is what I want to accomplish. This is the legacy that I want to leave. This is what I want people to say about us. And as you develop that, you can then formulate it into a succinct, targeted, yet brief synopsis of who you are and why you exist. Your vision basically is the body has all of this mass. The heart of your strategic plan is your mission statement, because it creates the vision. And as any successful leader has to do, you have to take that vision and then communicate it first internally to the people that deliver the product and service every day. But secondarily, you have to deliver it to the market. You have to deliver it to the customer. You have to deliver it to the unknown or prospective customer. And you have to be confident in who you are and delivering who you say you are to the marketplace for you to be successful. So spend some time going back through your vision statement. Here's one of my favorite quotes by Helen Keller. She said, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight and no vision." And many times as leaders, we look at what we think we see and don't understand what we're actually looking at. And the vision is so much more important than the sight, that I can't stress to you how important it is for you to go through this process one more time and make sure that when you come out of it, you have a very strong, succinct, powerful mission statement that communicates the vision of your company. Where do you want to go? What changes are necessary for you to get there? And what habits have to be changed to accomplish this? This is part of your vision. You've written the mission statement. Now your vision is the second step of, here's our mission. These are the things we have to tweak, change, or adjust to get there. I used to, when I was working with a guy, he used to have this saying, and I can't remember his name right now, but I love the saying. He said, first you tweak it, then you kick it. First you tweak it. And if that doesn't work, then you got to apply some more pressure. So when you're writing your mission statement, be sure. And then when you put together your vision, these are the adjustments that have to be made in the current situation of your company to bring you back in line with the vision that you've created. Okay? So now, to conclude with this segment, the work is yours. You have to go through the process, going step by step, formulating your mission statement. Once you've formulated your mission statement, it doesn't mean it can't be adjusted. It doesn't mean it can't be changed. It doesn't mean that it's a trophy now and you put it up on the shelf. And it doesn't mean you have to do it by yourself. If you want to be an expert, surround yourself with experts. You have brought people on your team who are experts in their individual areas. Use them as a resource to help you develop the direction and the mission and the vision of your company. Thanks again for joining me. I'll be back with part 2 in a couple of minutes. So get started, and we look forward to your success.